That's me with my father. And look, I'm wearing the same colors today. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's my doll, Raggedy Ann doll. That's the reason I like to show that photo is because it speaks in so many ways to who I am and how I am in the world. I don't follow any very many norms, and I don't really follow. I don't swim upstream. Look, they dress me in pink. This is 1962 or maybe 1963. You didn't dress boys in pink. You just didn't do that. But my parents dressed me in pink. Boys didn't play with dolls, except really hipster parents who maybe were sociologists, and they knew from like the age of 3 or 4 that the child was gay, and so and their child wanted to play with dolls, and they were like, fuck it, all right, play with dolls. Not that all the boys that play with dolls are gay, because I play with dolls, I'm not gay. I might become gay. I always say if my wife dies before me, I'll be with a guy for sure. Just because I'm done with women. Nothing against y'all, right? It's all good. But no, I love my wife dearly. I just feel like I want to be with a guy. I've been with a woman for a long time. So why not switch it up a little bit? You know what I mean? My father was pretty old when I was born. He died when I was 9, and then I largely raised myself. And my mom was working a lot. It was working class. To me, it was a good thing because I was free to just explore the world on my own. By grace, explore the world. Okay, so I discovered marijuana when I was 12, and that was pretty awesome. For a 12-year-old, right? I wouldn't recommend it. If I had a 12-year-old, I wouldn't recommend it, but for me, it was cool because I had the kind of mind to take that journey and not get lost in it. So I was never really big on alcohol, but I dug the mind journey, right? Didn't take school seriously. Nobody in my family took school seriously. It wasn't like you bring my report card home. I don't even remember her asking to look at it. That just wasn't part of the world. But I read voraciously. I was always a reader. I was not interested in sitting behind a desk and getting grades and doing whatever I needed to follow somebody else's rules. It just wasn't how it was for me. And so I made it through 8th grade. I made it through high school. I always say I'm above average, though, because I took the SAT and I scored in the 51st percentile, which is pretty cool. You just want to be above average, y'all, right? You don't want to be... above average is 51% is good. I didn't take high school very seriously, but I found out that I could get a day off of school if I applied to college. So I applied to my local university, University of Toledo, and I jumped on my motorcycle, went out and applied, and which took 20 minutes. And I got into college, and after 2.5 years in college, I was still a freshman because I would start with 15 credits, and I'd end up with 1 or 2 one semester. One semester it was 1. It was a racquetball class. I got a C in that. I would transfer to a community college because I thought I would just get a 2-year degree because I was a musician, playing rock and roll. I had other things. And then I was slowly dropping all my classes, and I had 1 class left. And I skipped the class, and I went to the library. And this was it, man. I was going to drop out, clearly. There was no question about it. But I was in the library, and I did what I always did. I would just walk through the stacks at the library, looking for stuff, books and reading things, because I was a crazy reader. I was always reading, right? Was reading something, and something in my mind just clicked. I don't know what it was, man. I was reading about prisons, prison reform, and something clicked, and I said, I could do that. For the first time in my life, I saw something that I could do. So I went over, got the phone, get on the phone, and I called the sociology department, social work department, and I said, hey, can I come meet with somebody? And I went over and I scheduled sociology and social work classes, and that was the end, man. That was the beginning of a whole, I quit everything. I quit working, quit music, quit everything, and I became a student. So I was 20 years old, became, for the first time in my life, like really serious student. And I was a terrible student because I couldn't read. I couldn't write. I just didn't, but I never looked back, man. And to this day, I never look back. I am studying, literally. I'm exploring, not studying, I'm exploring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Never stop, man. It is just, it's a really cool journey. But I continue to not be concerned about grades and what other people think and that kind of stuff. And so I teach this class. I tell you that story because I teach this class with that in mind. I don't care about grades. I don't care about your grades. I don't care. All I care about is whether you think and whether I inspire you to think in some ways. When you come here, you don't have to take notes. You don't have to do anything. All I ask of you is that you think. And my job is to do that. That's it, man. My job is to do for you what some people did for me, which is just spark your mind to think, to have some thoughts that you haven't had. And that might mean, it often means arguing with me, right? So it's like, dude, if you leave this class and you're not in an argument with me about something, like I didn't say something that offended you in some way or bothered you in some way or you disagree with in some way, then I'm not doing my job, man, at all. So I'm going to be all over the place. I'm going to push in lots of ways, and I'm going to be in maybe I offend you one day or I bother you because of something, but I don't bother her. You know what I mean? You might think, oh, this guy's an idiot, but this person's thinking, oh, this guy's right on, because whatever. It's like, this is how it works. Like, we're all in this together. And this is a sociology class of race and ethnic relations, not just in the U.S., but globally. We should be in constant conversation and in many ways constantly arguing and engaging, arguing with and engaging one another, because that's what it is. This is not, it doesn't have to be super controversial, but there are lots of opinions about this stuff. And if we're not engaging people who are different from us and thinking in new ways, then we're not going nowhere. I'm not trying to be a professor. I'm not trying to be cool. I'm not trying to be anything. I'm just being myself. So that's how I do what I do in here. I just be myself. All this stuff is rocking, man. Right? I'm white. I'm a man. I'm straight. And for the moment, until my wife dies, I'm like able-bodied. But all those things matter. I'm American. Yo, man, I'm American. That matters. Like, it matters to how I walk through the world. It matters to how, man, it's so big. All this stuff comes into play. And it's going to come into play for all of us, because I'm going to be pointing that out in lots of different ways. It's a sociology class. Most sociologists tend to be more liberal. I'll explain why that, how that is. They assume that you're going to make the assumption that I'm liberal, right? And it's like, dudes, don't walk down that path. My perspectives are going to come from all over the place. And I'm neither liberal nor conservative nor anything. I mean, I'm practically mentally ill. But beyond that, it's not there. Right now, it seems like I'm hearing, I'm getting a lot of reaction back, the past couple of years anyway, on campus. A lot of the more liberal students think that I'm way too conservative and I need to pick up the liberal cause a little bit, right? And then people who are conservative think I'm obviously way too liberal. And so it's like, I guess I win, right? Because I guess I win. That means it's good. That means I'm hitting things from multiple sides.
Pump it up!